Taking over a business is never easy. But taking over a family business, it sounds like it's easy. It sounds like it's a great opportunity. It can be, but it comes with an extra set of pressures. Welcome to Secure Success with Jess, where we talk about leadership, growth, and building real businesses based on my experience in the security industry. I'm Jessica Johnson Cope, the security lady, and I'm the president and CEO of Johnson Security Bureau, a third-generation security services firm. Today, I want to talk to you about my journey to lead a legacy business, what it really took to step into leadership in a family business after multiple decades of success. The challenge is, most people, when they hear that I run my family's business, they think I was given everything on a platter, that I was given the keys to the kingdom, and that success was promised. My journey was far from that. If anything, legacy provided me with a license to build upon what was there before, but it wasn't necessarily a promise that I was going to be as successful as my father or grandparents had been before me. I basically had to start from scratch with a set of tools in a toolkit without the instruction manual. So I hope that what I share with you today will give you some instructions to make you successful, whether you're starting a business, whether you're leading a business, or whether you're thinking about getting into the business of security. Now, I've been around the security industry my entire life, but I never knew how it ran. I just saw the big picture. There was a job, someone showed up to work, and the job got done. There was an exchange of checks, and everybody went to bed at night, except for my dad and my grandma, who stayed up late at night doing the books and sending out, making payments, and planning for what was to come. But because I wasn't innately involved in those interactions, I didn't know how important it was to plan, how important it was to show up, how things are not just created, but you would have to navigate through the pressure. And when you're in a family business, or you're in business with your dear friends or people you really care about, there's a lot more pressure than when you're in business with complete strangers. I challenge you, if you currently have a job, think about your relationship with your supervisors or your bosses. Do you really think about whether or not, what it's like for them when they go home at night? Do you say, I gotta get this perfect because I don't want John to have to work late? No, that rarely happens. But when you're doing business with people you know, love, and trust, like your family members, there's that added pressure because you want to be successful, you want to be mindful of their feelings, and you also want to operate profitably. And sometimes feelings and profits don't go hand in hand. As a matter of fact, feelings and profits rarely go hand in hand when you're trying to run a family business successfully. So what were some of the key lessons that I learned? A big lesson is something that we all can cite when we think about Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin said, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. She put it simply, people want to feel like they matter. Everyone, you, me, we all want to feel like we're important, especially when we show up and we do our work. And so respect is the cornerstone for achieving success in business. You have to first and foremost respect yourself by how you carry yourself and how you treat yourself and what you will tolerate. Then, if you have employees, you must respect the people who work with you and work for you. Think about it though. If you don't respect the people who work for you, or if people outside your organization see that you don't treat people well, you speak to your employees nasty, or you just don't care, why should anybody outside of your business or organization treat your employees any differently? That's not a winning proposition to disrespect the people who work with and for you. Additionally, you want to respect the people who are giving you the business, your clients, you want your suppliers and your vendors as well. A wise man once told me, Jess, anything that you don't respect will leave you. So you don't want to lose business opportunities because you didn't demonstrate respect to the people who were paying you or respect to the people that were doing the work. Respect is paramount to success in business. The other thing I learned early on in leading Johnson Security was I had to trust my instincts. I couldn't depend on what my father thought. He was gone. I couldn't depend on how my grandmother would have managed a situation. I could learn from it, but I couldn't depend on that because she was also gone. And so I could reflect on how they ran and managed the business, but ultimately I had to learn how to do things on my own and for myself. And as I was successful and became more successful and became more confident, I began to trust my gut. And I'm hoping that with you, if you hear me talk about my experience, you won't have to go through some of the things that I went through. So leverage and lean into past experiences that you've had where you've been successful, where you've been a winner, where you've done a great job, especially as you are starting, building, growing, and scaling a business, even in the security industry. I think back to my time growing up in church where our family encouraged us to be involved in ministry. And by being involved, it didn't just mean showing up when it was time to sing in the choir or showing up when it was time to be an usher, but actually serving, going to meetings, understanding why we were doing what we do. And one example was I served as the treasurer for our junior usher board. Now, I can't say that led me to want to be a CPA, but it did show me how to respect other people's money, how to be good at reporting money as it came in and went out, and to balance transactions. And I can now use that information, use that training, use that experience to better understand the financials of Johnson Security. So you may not go to church, you may not have been in a choir or on a junior usher board, but leverage past experiences where you've been successful and learn how to trust your own gut so that you can win as you lead business. And then lastly, one thing that I learned from my studies as an engineer is that if you want repeatable success, you need systems and structures in place. I've seen the most talented people lose to people who didn't have as much talent, but they had systems, structures, and processes, and the discipline to use those tools on a repeated basis so they had consistency. Discipline and consistency will kill talent in the long run. And so I want you to be encouraged, especially if you're starting, growing, or scaling a business. You may not be the big guy. You may not be the $4 billion security firm that we all compete against on a regular basis, but you bring something that's much needed to the table, an experience that is valuable to our industry. Just figure out how to build the systems and structures so that you can repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, and have consistent results so that you can win. So as I bring my time today to a close, I just want to remind you, if you are in the security industry and you're looking to grow your business, or you're thinking about getting into the industry and you want to actually learn how to build a real thing, I would love to share my experiences, my process, and how I'm winning at Johnson Security so you can fast track your success in your business in this industry. And make sure that you're not just working in something that you're trapped in, but that you're working on something that will be bigger and better than you. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Secure Success with Jess. Be sure to come back for our next episode, because in the next episode, we're going to dig deeper into the industry, the contract security guard market. What is it? How big is it? And how can you get your slice of the pie? There are more than crumbs available to all of us who want to do business in or around the security industry. And in the next episode, we're going to dig a little bit deeper. So thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you the next time.